Lately, I've noticed a trend of articles and posts about how when a man cheats, he's the lowest of scum and a wretch because he doesn't appreciate the woman next to him, or he wants something new, or he's having a midlife crisis, or he's tired of sex at home, or he needs to prove himself, or to boost his ego or complexes, or so and so and so. If a woman cheats, guess what? Again, it's because her man is the biggest scum and a wretch because he doesn't give her what she needs, doesn't appreciate her, she's become a given for him, and the same aforementioned supports. Does anyone have similar observations, or am I imagining something?
So that post ends with a really important question. And to answer it directly, no, you are absolutely not imagining it. From a psychological standpoint, this observation is spot on. It really highlights a deeply ingrained double standard in how we, as a society, talk about infidelity.
And you know, if this whole pattern feels familiar to you, there's a good reason for that. It's not a coincidence. It's a script that we see played out all the time in articles and social media. It's a collective story that shapes how we think about relationships, often before we're even aware of it.
So what's really happening here? Well, we're looking at what you could call a tale of two completely different narratives. The action is the same, but the story we tell about it changes dramatically depending on one variable: gender. Let's break down what those two stories actually look like.
Okay, just look at the contrast here. It's pretty stark, isn't it? On one side, when a man cheats, the explanation is almost always internal. It's about his character flaws. He's selfish, he's weak, he needs an ego boost. But then, when a woman cheats, you see the narrative pivot to external factors. The story suddenly becomes about her environment or her partner's failures. He neglected her, he didn't support her. The focus shifts from her choice to his responsibility. And here is the critical takeaway. Blame is just not assigned equally. For men, the narrative points inward, to a personal flaw. For women, it often points outward, to a situation or another person for justification. This is a really powerful social script at play.
This brings us to the most important question of all. Why? Why do we have this built-in double standard? Well, the answer lies in an unseen social script that's quietly directing our judgments. Psychologists have a term for this. We call it the gendered justification frame. Now, that sounds a bit academic, I know, but think of it like this. It's a pair of glasses we don't even know we're wearing. It's a mental filter that simplifies the world for us by sorting behavior into these pre-labeled boxes, all based on some pretty old-fashioned ideas about gender.
This frame doesn't just appear out of thin air. It's actually built on three very powerful pillars. So let's break them down, starting with the historical foundation. First, we've got centuries of social stereotypes. You know the ones. The traditional view that casts men as impulsive hunters and women as nurturing carers. So when a man cheats, it kind of fits that impulsive stereotype, even if it's negative. But when a woman cheats, it violates her expected roles so much that society almost has to scramble for an external reason to make it all make sense.
The second reason is all about our brains. See, our brains love shortcuts. It's just cognitively easier to blame a man's character. Society tends to see men as independent actors. For women, the shortcut is to see their actions as a reaction to their relationships, which just reinforces that stereotype of them being more relational beings.
And finally, we have modern technology, which acts as a massive amplifier. Articles and posts that confirm these simple, biased narratives, they get more clicks, more likes, more shares. And then the algorithms feed us more of the same, creating these echo chambers where these two separate stories don't just feel common, they start to feel like the only truth. So once you understand these forces, you can start to see beyond the frame itself. This isn't about defending or condemning anyone's actions, but about understanding the hidden logic our society uses to judge them. And this really gets to the core of it. The most revealing part of this whole discussion isn't the act of infidelity itself. It's the story we tell ourselves about it. And that story says way more about our collective biases than it does about any single person. Ultimately, the problem we're examining here is one of narrative. By becoming aware of this gendered justification frame, we can start to see how deeply these unconscious scripts influence our perceptions of right, wrong, and even responsibility. So I'll leave you with a final thought to mull over. Now that this one script is a little more visible, what other invisible stories are shaping the way we all see the world every single day?